CrossFit Inconceivable community, Coach Amelia here with the first part of the series of workouts, the HankerCHIEF. This is the warm-up. Let's get started. All right, we're going to go through a slow-mo sun salutation here. And so let's start by reaching the hands up really tall and taking a moment and reaching right arm tall, then left, and alternating, really getting into the side body, opening up the ribs, getting the core active. Good. And then let's take our right hand and reach our left wrist and bend over to the right side, really feeling that through the side of the ribs. Good. And then let's switch. Take the left hand to the right wrist and side bend that way. Good. Let's bring the arms down and we'll shake it out. Let's get into our first forward fold. So let's lean ourselves forward, reaching our hands for the floor. And you can have a nice generous bend in the knee here. And let's just rock the hip side to side to start. And straightening one leg and then the other. Letting that hamstring start to open up. And this is the one time we allow for some rounding in the back here. Good. And let your whole self sway, hips to one side. Hands can stay gently planted to the ground. And let's bring our hands onto our shins and come into that halfway lift. Really think about lengthening the spine, pressing against your legs and opening up there, feeling the activation in the muscles of the back. Good. And then let's let ourselves just hang forward for a moment and come all the way back up to stand. And we'll take a moment here and just get some arm hugs, alternating which is on top first, before we come into the plank portion of our sun salutation slow-mo warm-up. Hope you're all doing well, keeping up with the workouts. Let's tap our backs for a minute to warm up those shoulders. Good. And now we're going to walk ourselves down to the plank. So we're going to reach for the floor, walk to the top of a push-up, and do some scat push-ups here. So we're just letting our chest fall and pressing the shoulder blades away. From the side, it looks like this. Chest through and up. Really warming up the shoulders, keeping a solid line in the body. You're not breaking the plane of the back. If you need to be on knees, you can also get the same impact here. So I'm not bending my elbows, really just warming up through the shoulders. And now let's lower ourselves down to the bottom of a plank position. Good. Back here. And gently lift the back up. And we'll start just gently with some reps here. So doing some back extensions. Nice. You can use as much or as little pressure in the hands as you like. And now let's press up into a more extended up dog position. Feeling that opening through the abs, squeezing the glutes. Let's just do that twice more. Pressing up and back. And once more up and down. Let's tuck the toes and press back into a down dog. So you can have a big bend in the knee. And again, we're going to stay active here. We're going to alternate bending the knee, reaching the heel for the floor. Think about pressing the chest through. Stay active in that down dog position. Good. And let's walk our feet back toward our hands. Inhale, coming back up to stand again. And exhaling back down. Good. We're going to stand wide here. We're going to get some windmills. So we're going to open the arms to the side and reach for the opposite toe. Try to keep that leg pretty straight, okay? We're going to try and keep those legs relatively straight as we just reach down and start to warm up. We're hinging at the hips. We're keeping the back straight, the chest tall and proud, even as we forward bend. Good. That pivot point is through the hips. Nice. Let's get one more each side. All right. Now we're going to get some inchworm to push-ups. We have push-ups in the workout today, so let's reach tall. Reach for the toes. Walk out to the top of that push-up. Lower ourselves and press back up. Again, if you need to do knees here, or maybe a little bit of a worm where you bring yourself up that way. Good. Reaching tall. Reaching down. Walking out. Lowering. And raising. As you walk back in, see if you can get some stretch through the hamstrings. Let's do that twice more. So here's one. Up. And two. All the way out. Lower. And raise. Let's start to warm up into the legs a little more. We're going to get some Spider-Man. So we're going to step out. Put the hands inside the leg. Swoop back into a down dog. As you transition, that helps get the shoulders and hips engaged as we move through. Good. Stepping out wide, the hands are inside the feet, so you're stepping your hands to your foot, so you're on the outside of your hands. All right. Let's walk back, hands toward feet, and we'll start working on some squatting. So let's find our squat pose. Feet just outside hips, toes are turned out slightly, and let's just get to the bottom of the squat for a moment here and sit. Maybe use your elbows inside your knees and listen for that improvement in mobility. Maybe you rock side to side, finding that flexibility in the depth of the squat. Good. Let's hang here for another 10 seconds so we get to 6 minutes on the clock there. Nice. 3, 2, 1, and up. And now let's get 10 slow squats. Get a 2 count at the bottom. So let's sit down. Here, 1, 2, and up. Down, 1, 2, and up. Down, 1, 2, and up. Down, 1, 2, and up. And down, 1, 2, and up. And let's get 5, no pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. All right, now we're going to get some upright lunges, some Samson lunges. We're going to kneel, reach up, and then reach down to the side of the leg that's forward. So we're going to reach up, reach down to the side of the legs forward, and back up tall. Reaching down, side that's forward. Good. Let's get 2 more each side. And rotate, down, and rotate. Good. Down, and rotate. And down, and rotate. All right, we're gonna get a little more shoulder work here. And so let's get some rolls first. And kind of increase, adding the elbows, rolling back, opening through the chest. Good. And let's see if we can try swimming. So arms up top, and we're gonna bring one arm back and the opposite arm forward. Just swing around here. Good. Nice. And let's see if we can switch directions. You can definitely feel coordination one way versus the other. All right. Now we're going to work on a little bit of core activation and some hamstring opening with some good mornings. And so we're going to think about hinging forward at the hips and then coming back up tall, squeezing glutes and hamstrings, staying active in the core to keep the back flat. And we're going to be using some ground to overhead movement today. I think about squeezing the glutes to stand tall, as we're going to use in those movements today. You can also have hands at your ears. If you really think about chest tall as you move through that exercise. Good. Let's get one more. All right, we're going to take a few moments and open up pecs. We have some push-ups in the workout today. So I'm just going to have my hand at the wall and step forward. You could use a corner or a doorway. You could have the hand actually touching the wall and turn slightly away. I feel a lot of tension already through the pecs, so I'm going to hang out there. If you have more to give, you can rotate your body further away from the hand, opening up the front of the shoulder and into the pec muscle here. Taking a breath. We're going to hold this until 9 minutes, 30 seconds on that clock there that you see. Always good to breathe. Pec stretches are always great. We do so much forward bent, forward rolled work. We want to really take the time and allow opening through the shoulders there. 2, 1, and gently you can walk yourself toward. And then put the opposite arm up and step forward. So I'm keeping my body upright. I'm not leaning into it. And then I'm just slightly rotating away. And again, I feel a lot of tension to the front of my chest and shoulders. So go to where you feel tension, but it doesn't feel overwhelming or unmanageable. We'll take some breaths in here. Good. We'll get to 10:30 on this one. And then we'll do a little more work for the lower extremities. coming into mobility. Today's workout's a fun one. It's one of my favorites, and this is the modified home version. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to work hard. All right, got about 10 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Now we're going to come into kind of a low kneeling lunge. We're going to get some ankle mobility. So you want to keep the heel back up planted on the floor, and you want to really let that knee come forward. You know, we don't often think about knee over the toes when we're talking about lunges, but we're working on closing the angle of the ankle here. And so you want to work in that. You can work around the outside edge. So you kind of feel like you're leaning your weight in, kind of rocking around the outside edge of that ankle. We're going to be looking at our squat depth here today. We want to make sure we have as much mobility as possible. Good. And we'll go to 11:30 on this one, and then we'll switch. And keeping that heel planted as you really lean in, and maybe stay at the front of that for a moment. Put your weight on the knee. Feel that heel cord opening up. Good. And then let's switch. So bring that right foot forward, and again we'll be rocking around the outside, feeling the outer range of mobility, keeping the heel down, feeling the stretch in the calf, closing the angle of the ankle. Always spend a little time here so we can get that full depth. You want to be limited in your squat simply by ankle mobility. And about 30 more seconds. Again, you can lean forward and lean your weight into it, really feeling that stretch along the back of the calf. Good. About 20 seconds here. Spend some time in it. You're getting probably a little bonus stretch on the inner thigh. We'll take both. 10 seconds. All right. And we're all warmed up here. And now you can join me for the second video where we'll talk about the workout technique and scaling options. Thanks.